What's up, guys? So this video, I'm going to talk about where I stand politically and also the market conditions and where I think we might be headed in the next coming weeks and maybe even the next coming year or several years. Obviously, you guys see me post some political stuff, and it's only fair I go out there. I'm not going to hide behind a computer in the sense or like that. So I'm going to put my views out there, and if you disagree, I'd still hope you'd follow and try to combat me on the ideas, but respectfully in a sense. And if you can't stomach it, then I don't know what to say. So I'm a conservative. I more for monetarily reasons more than anything. I value the First Amendment, definitely value the Second Amendment. Love my guns, but most of my views are really, it's kind of crazy. I'm more libertarian more than anything. So even with guns, like, absolutely think everyone should be able to own a gun, but definitely needs to be background checks. Definitely don't want somebody who's mentally ill, somebody who has, extreme aggression problems probably to own a firearm. So I'm not saying anyone and everyone should have a gun. I have clear, we could debate on who should or who shouldn't get one, but I definitely think if you want a gun and you're America, you should have a right to protect your family and you should have a right to have one. All right, that's checked off. I don't care if you're gay. I have gay friends. I really don't care for that. I don't care if you're wanting to get a sex change or whatever. That's on you. And hey, if that makes you happy, then and if you're my friend that made you happy, I'd be like, oh, go for it, dude. Check it out, man. I believe all humans are equal. I don't believe in any of that. Geez, I don't know, man. I mean, abortion, hey, you do what you want with your body. It doesn't really concern me. I believe in protecting everyone's right. And it's kind of weird to me. Like, the Republican Party is supposed to be more I'm more of a constitutionalist in a sense, but you're supposed to be protecting rights and don't tread on me and this and that. But yet one of the most sacred things, they want to have an influence on. And I understand the other side of the debate too. You're killing a kid. Like, I don't agree with being able to get an abortion like in month 8. Something like that. But the one thing I'll say is this is. I try to be as open-minded as possible, and that's actually a Charlie Munger quote. Not quote, more of like a knowledge barrier thing. When you're going to make an argument about anything, politics, business, stocks, I mean anything in life, you better be able to make an argument for both sides. Because if you can't make an argument for both sides, then just shut the hell up, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about, or you're very ignorant on one end. So anytime I post a video about a political view, anytime I post something like that, I'm going to try to look at it from both sides. I'm not saying that this side's right. Shit, I love playing devil's advocate. I think that's how you grow. That's how you have intellectual conversations. You got to challenge yourself. If you constantly surround yourself with people that constantly speak the same things over and over, and you guys always all agree, and no one ever disagrees or challenges you, how are you ever going to grow? If you went to the gym and did the same thing every day, never lifted a weight, never lifted more weights or anything, how are you going to get bigger? How are you going to grow? You're not. So even with my friends, my closest friends, we play devil's advocate all the freaking time, bro. Like, we would be on the same page as something, like a policy or whatever that comes out. But one of us will step on and say, well, you got to look at the other side, and they'll argue it. Sometimes me, sometimes them, So when I view the world like that, I try to view it as logically as I can. So you see me put stuff out. Like right now, let's be honest, I'm pretty goddamn pissed about California blocking up the court systems and doing all the crazy things they're doing. Look, people's lives are at stake, of course, but there is an inherent risk that you have in society, in life, not in society, like you have that in life, man. And, ultimately the choice is going to be yours, right? You can't force people to do everything you want them to do. It's just too much control. No one wants that, man. I mean, think about us when we were kids, bro. Like, who the hell wanted to listen to their parents or anything, bro? Like, and the government has the power because we give them the power. And I think they forgot that. And I think they need to be checked on that. I don't have to wear a fucking mask if I don't want to wear a mask. That's just, I'm not going to do it. Period. I'll take the risk on that. You can't force me to do something I don't want to do. I'm not immoral. I'm not corrupt. I'm not infringing on anybody in the sense like that. It's like that's my choice. This world doesn't belong just to you. Yeah, I live in this society, but there are like rules that we follow that are, pretty well established, like don't murder, don't kill, don't beat, don't touch, don't whatever. But does this mean you're going to have to wear a mask for the rest of your life? Because how do you know if someone's going to catch the flu or anything like that? And then once again, going to the extreme. And I know on this side, it's like, well, you should do that to be a good citizen. You should do that to be courteous. Hell, you should do that for your own family. So you don't, like, you put the fucking mask on. It's not that hard in a sense, right? You can walk around and it protects everyone. But I don't like the idea of giving up any control for any one thing. And I firmly believe this 110%. If you're willing to compromise safety for security, you're going to lose both, because it doesn't stop. It never stops. It continues to go on until it reaches a point where they're going to dictate what you could do, when you could do it, whatever. And safety has always been the proxy for everything, right? Oh, the Patriot Act. We're doing this so 9/11. Sorry, I took a break there, but so 9/11 doesn't happen again. And I'm pretty patriotic, dude. If it came down to it, we had to fight for this country, I would. I love it. This country's given it, like me and my family, everything that we could ever ask for. It gave us the opportunity, and I want to be able to protect that, for my future kids and then for the next generation, and there's no place like America, but I feel like it's gotten to a point right now where like we are super divided and stuff. And that also leads me to my current market conditions. Like, so now I hope like you kind of got a little taste of what I am. I don't really know how much more further I should go, into like every single detail of my view, but the main takeaway there is I don't shy away from a debate. I try to be very open-minded, and I'm going to challenge you if you challenge me back. Respectfully, though, I'm not. The one thing I could say to you, if you're listening, just like one-on-one, is there's no such thing as winning a debate. That's like such a wrong, corroded, like way to look at things. Like when you go on a debate or you challenge each other an idea, the person that wins that is the person that changed their mind or changed their mind just a little bit. Because, if I'm that person, I walk away like, oh, wow, I never thought about that. You're right. That doesn't mean that you're more superior than me. It means, you fool, you're only making me stronger, right? Your mind grew. You opened up more. You got more ideas in. That's supposed to be the whole thing about being, having an intellectual conversation to stimulate the mind, to grow. And if you're stubborn and you only want to hear one thing, man, I mean, just good luck, bro. You're going to miss so many opportunities in your life. But I don't think that's the way to go. But fucking here we go. But the market conditions, man, it's pretty nuts. So posted that Democrats are printing another $3 billion. I just want to see what the hell they have hiding in there. If they're trying to throw like a rent mortgage cancellation act in there or whatever, right? We'll see. I haven't read into it yet, but either way, I've been doing a lot of reading and listening to a lot smarter people than me. Like just talking about some crazy stuff, man. Like especially podcasts. Like I was on to Bitcoin, and now I'm like looking more and more into it, in a sense. And let me step back too before all this, before the market and all this. This is a trust me, I'm a diehard capitalist, so it's pretty hard for me to say this, but it's the truth. Like true, honest capitalism, it doesn't work, because essentially capitalism always just funnels all the money to one person. That's the end game of capitalism, is to be able to deploy capital in a manner that you get the most production. The most production gets the capital. It kind of eats itself. We've gotten to a point to our society where some things don't make sense. I'm not saying I have the answers. I mean, there's so many schools of thought on this, but I think it's definitely time to acknowledge that there's a problem. Maybe this pandemic is what woke us up to this problem even more. And it's sad, man, because a lot of innocent people get hurt. It fucking hurt. It hurts me to think about that, like in a sense, like no one wants to see kids starving. No one wants to see, I guess families out, but life goes on and it happens all over the world. I get that. But it kind of does speak volumes when you think about, what is wrong with the system? What are the incentives? Like it can't just be raising taxes or whatever. But what am I trying to say is like the redistribution of wealth. Like there needs to be a real conversation, but it needs to be something that's fair, to the person who spends their life deploying capital in the right manner and spends their life, sacrificing in a way to get to a better point. And at the same time, it needs to be fair enough to give someone a chance who needs a chance or wants a chance to be able to do something. This conversation goes way deeper, but the fundamental problem here is it's sad in one of the most, in the wealthiest nation in the country in the world, where 50% of people don't even have $400 to their name. And, And like I said, when this goes deep, man, I mean, I've been doing like just listening to the different people talk. Like, I mean, this goes down to more than just, oh, work harder, save money, whatever. Those are the founding principles. But, as I posted Dr. Peterson before, and he's made some brilliant freaking, points where he's like, there's also a certain God-given ability that you get that other people don't have. You know, a good point that he made was like the military won't accept you if you have IQ below 80, and there's a certain number of the population in America that has an IQ lower than 80, and what are they supposed to do for work? They cannot have the same earning potential as the guy who has a 120 IQ that's a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, or even someone like me who has like a 90 IQ that could be like, hey, you're probably good at being a cop, but you could earn a little bit above average in the hamburger helper or whatever, or you could go be maybe you bumped your IQ up a little bit. You could go be a teacher and earn, whatever. I mean, it was on me. I was naturally curious, but I was also very blessed being born around parents that were business savvy that got my mind thinking into business and then taught me a financial education firsthand. And then I just fell in love with the whole markets and just kind of how the world works because, the markets and making money and everything it's all intertwined, like you want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to care about politics. It's just, you can't do one without the other, and if you want to make money and or if you care about money and the politics, you're going to have to care about what else is going on in the world. It just sucks you into this vortex, and I just got naturally drawn to it because I'm fucking pretty curious, But there's no doubt in my mind that as we keep printing, and that the currency keeps destabilizing, the people that are really going to get hurt here are the savers, people that try to do the right things. When inflation kicks in, your savings are going to go disappearing. So what chance do you have? The investors will be fine. The people that have assets will be fine. Because assets don't go to zero. They continue to go up. But in order for you to be able to acquire asset, you need capital. Well, if you're starting out, how long is it going to take for the game of capital for you to go? I mean, I am taking a very left side view of this. I mean, to the right side view of this would be, well, you have you have Shopify. You could go open up a e-commerce store. You could start, go listen to Gary Vee, go hustle, go grind, go do stuff, you can. But it's also hard to deny the fact that not everyone has enough time to learn that to do it. And what initiative do you got? If you didn't find this page somehow or another financial page that got your mind thinking this way, you'd go through the rest of your life just being like, whatever, I'm not saying that's one person's fault or another, but I think overall, the way that wealth is distributed, Jesus, there might have to be somewhat of a change. And like I said, I don't know, man. Is it taxes? I mean, what maybe like, is it a tax credit? What can we do to fix and to bring, more people out from here? Because at the end of the day, the thing that just scares the fuck out of me, to be honest with you, is there's no reason why 150 million Americans only have $400, man. That's fucking... That's the bottom line. If you told me 150 million Americans have about $4,000 or $5,000 saved, I'd say, okay, that's fine, and then they can make their choices. But that first number is just, you can't deny that there is a problem there. And as we get more into the future, and as less high-paying jobs go to tech, and those jobs become less earners, and if you, for your future's family, don't invest in assets now and don't have cash or capital available to deploy later at the new thing, everyone falls more and more behind and everything else trickles more and more to the top. But capitalism has changed the world. It's lifted everybody out of poverty. It works. It just needs to be a little bit adjusted. And to wrap this up, because I don't remember how much my first one was, but or first, half or whatever. The way I see everything going right now is, I don't know. It's so crazy to see which way this market could go because there's no denying it now. It's artificially inflated for 110%. Even a lot of our house prices, everything is inflated. The dollar ain't worth shit. It's just a way to transact. And the only way that we could save the dollar is if we grow our way out of it. We need more goods, more products, more services. We need economic growth. Because the more growth we have, and the more debt we have, we grow, the more money we make on this, we could pay this back down. It's going to be that simple. But are we going to be able to achieve it? I don't know. I think the next 90 days are going to be one of the most challenging America's ever faced in a very long time. And, you know, all I could say is just fucking take it day by day. You know, let's get over this COVID thing first, and then we'll worry about the rest of it later. But I just want to put this video out there just to throw everything out, and let's, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed it and enjoyed my viewpoints or whatever. Yeah, I hope you learned something from it. So shoot a comment if you did, and I'd love to engage in conversation.